quite difficult to say.
Okay, well, looks like we're okay. I don't want to jinx it, but it seems to be safe, so let's hop into the intros. Spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, it is going to be StarTale's Red Zerg player, Life.
In the upper left, as the blue Terran, it's Gumiho.
Gumiho just came off of a very intense mech game versus Life, bringing the series back 1-1. We saw him try to go for mech in game number 1, but we kind of saw, like, the way Life shut him down in game 1 is what really should have happened there at Deadwing, but the opportunity didn't really present itself the same way. Should Gumiho be bold enough to try mech again for game 3? This is one of those scenarios where if Life recognizes this soon enough, things like even just Roach all-ins, forget Roach bailing, but just Roach all-ins can be really effective.
Well, I liked his idea of going for the mutas and then swarm host, right? Because that can be a very effective style. You know, switching back and forth, back and forth. It just, wasn't really aggressive. They both kind of agreed not to attack each other, which kind of ends up worse for the Zerg player who doesn't get those lucky fungals against, you know, the mass Raven army. So, yeah, if it is obvious that he's going to go for mech again and then he's going to go for that style of mech again, Life probably will either be more aggressive with swarm host and mutas or try, like, you know, Roach all-ins, Roach Hydra attacks. Those type of deals, as opposed to, let me just get every base and get every upgrade.
Well, what I do find kind of funny, by the way, shout out to this guy. I checked the Team Liquid live report thread just while we're getting that remake up, and I don't know who this guy is. Squat has a quote for me, and I don't doubt I've said something stupid like this in the past, but battle cruisers don't reel, quoted from Rifkin. It's just too perfect noticing that after that last game, so I had to give that a shout out.
I did not notice. So that guy was really paying attention.
Yeah, well, I mean, I say really dumb things like 9 times out of 10. Hell, 10 times out of 10. So, I wish I knew the context of it. Either way, awesome. Awesome to have somebody quoting me. Anyways, Reaper is going to come out here first for Gumiho. Not wild or crazy. This is just something we are seeing. It doesn't matter. Oh. Pardon me, sorry, I had to fight off a yawn there. 5:37 in the AM after all. But anyways, it doesn't matter if you're going to go bio or mech. The Reaper in the early game scouting is really important because once again, your greatest weakness as a Terran player going for mech is the fear of an all-in. I mean, yeah, you're going to have a tank down maybe, but one tank doesn't stop a rush bailing all-in. In fact, sometimes one tank is like the worst thing to have instead of having like 10 extra Marines, whatever the case may be. But right now, we've seen him sort of dance in the early game. Doesn't really kill too much with this, uses it more of a scouting tool rather than a killing tool, and that's going to benefit him greatly deciding what he wants to do on this map. Because, make no mistake guys, Gumiho might be playing mech, but he does have a really mean bio build behind it.
I feel it's less about being scared against the all-ins and more scared against the, I don't know, plays like a big Roach Hydra attack in the mid-game when you're just getting your production up seems so much scarier. You know, the fast muta build that we saw from Life in that first game, obviously very effective. He won that game without much of a fight at all. So if he's pretty much banking on the fact that Gumiho is a mech player and is going to do mech again, I wouldn't be surprised to see those two thrown out.
I actually really like what's going on with the rocks right now. This is becoming more and more popular, it seems. It's not just Life who does this, but taking down these back rocks to sneak out of the front. Obviously, Gumiho's going to have the Reaper patrolling out front, and if he has Hellions, usually this is where they look to spread the creep. But also, we're seeing this fourth base over here become a little bit more favorable. So, lots of benefits to knocking down these rocks early. But then he stops as I start talking about it, so never mind.
Those Lings got embarrassed. They're like, Rifkin Senpai noticed me.
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I think they come here to try and save the Overlord more than anything else.
Why is there only one Marine?
I don't know. The other one's in base waiting for it to corral back in, I guess.
I don't think he has one.
Focus the Overlord. Yeah, he does. It's right there.
Oh,
hello.
oh.
Hello. Open your eyes.
I was looking topwards most than downwards.
Gonna lose the Lings for it. Tried to save the Overlord. Sadly didn't. Good control. I like that Gumiho chose to actually focus that down instead of deal with the Lings. But Reaper in the meantime gonna hop back towards the main. Look for that lair timing. We'll scout. Okay, lair is on the way.
Yep, and it is that earlier lair. So it's pretty important that Gumiho scouts this. That he gets, you know, he wants to re-scout too. So he can't just assume that it's going to be earlier lair for mutas, although it might be a good guess. He only gets 3 gases though. You know something? Well, it's not Catalina. We saw Life do a lot of dinosaur all-ins on Catalina specifically.
Yeah, that was ZVZ too, which was a bit odd. You don't really see that in that matchup.
Reaper, please don't just stay in here and like scout everything.
Right? Like how is Life not?
Life, please. Oh, because he's dealing with Hellions.
Oh, and the natural did manage to sneak in there. So a couple of drones die, 4 so far, but he cleans this up rather easily.
And the Reaper's still alive. There we go. The Queen notices it. Tries to take down the Reaper. He really wants to see what is thrown down after the layer finishes. He is trying so hard. Throw on something. Okay. Or leave. He can scan again later if he really wants to figure that out.
Double armories again coming out of Gumiho. This is a harder map to turtle on, I'd say. Like, Deadwing was really nice because you can get 4 bases with 1 choke. Not the case at all on King Sejong, and you're going to constantly be ripped apart. Whether it's like a couple Swarmos just on the back end chipping away these rocks, whether it's the full force at the front, I mean, Gumiho is going to have a lot harder time. I mean, you could still work off of 3 bases as a mech player, but 4 is kind of your sweet spot.
Yeah. You can get up to 4. Like, the reason why mech is so popular on this map, and it is a pretty popular mech map, is that 4th is difficult, like not as easy as Nimbus, or Deadwing, but it is like going towards your opponent, right? Because he's going to take the 4th that is next to his natural. It's almost what we always see, so that he can push off a better starting point to attack Life. So it's like a terrible map, right? It's not like, why is Gumiho doing this on this map? That's so dumb. No, it's still pretty darn good. And Light did not go from mutas, by the way, just before. He's getting faster roach speed. Still droning up, though. He's not hitting any type of attack.
Yo, Journey beat
or maybe he's gonna try. Well, that was fast. I could have sworn they like just started.
Apparently just beat him according to Fury.
Yo.
So that's actually pretty sick. I mean, I've got a lot of faith in Journey. I love him as a player, but taking on DRG is quite the accomplishment.
Oh, he's not quite qualified. Oh, he is qualified. Oh, wait.
It's top 4.
Yeah, so he is qualified.
Is he? Hang on, I'll have to go tab and look at the brackets. Roach is in the meantime going to break down the back door. Tanks have got to reposition themselves.
Okay, no, my bad. He has to face Secure first.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think it was quite so.
That is the qualifying match, though. Oh, cool, we got drops from Life. Ew.
The winner of this one, by the way, guys, goes on to fight against either Rogue or Yonghua, depending on how that series goes. And it's big shout out to Yonghua, who did beat out Flash, actually, in the tournament very early on.
Yep. Yonghua fans unite, except not, because he just got beat up by Rogue. Okay.
Well, it'll be the Flash fans that kill Yonghua as fans, right? Like, but, okay, so right now, we got possible Swarm Host, whatever. The drops, I kind of was hoping was going to get followed through. He just canceled them. Ventral Sacks, oftentimes a bit of a misclick, but Roach drops were really, and still are in some cases, a good way to deal with mech.
This is less about that all-in, though, I think, because he's getting a 4th base, and it's going to become, he's getting Hydras in a hive, too. But it's an option that is open. Like, when Gumiho opens up to the 4th and moves his entire army over there, he might be worried about a Muta counterattack, but imagine, like, a Roach counterattack in your main that you're not expecting. It's too bad he didn't get it, though. I think that could have been cool. But instead going for this really powerful attack, adding in Vipers, of course, that's what the hive is for. That's what I did. That's what I talked about and what he would probably try to do if it wasn't fast mutas. Just this Roach Hydra and then the Vipers.
God, Roaches, there's so much health. Gets squashed by tanks under the rate fire, so their base will be okay for the time being. So yeah, Life go with a discernibly different attack this time. I mean, he'll have the backup potential plan B of Stormhouse maybe, but I kind of think Hydras with a like. You have ducks on the Stormhouse, okay, cool, whatever, but the Hydras give that versatility of being able to shoot up to cover against the Vikings that snipe off the Vipers, to cover against possible battle cruisers. I mean, it's funny, once upon a time, like, this was the... I think Hydras were, like, regarded as the only really good anti-air, but even then, under certain circumstances, they're not that good, so positioning will be key when using these.
Gumiho not really that high up on Vikings quite yet, but he will have, maybe 4 by the time the Vipers, or even 6 by the time the Vipers are full on energy too, because they're not even popped out yet. And as long, you could still definitely lose the game just straight up to like good blinding clouds. We see it a couple times, but it's much better to take the blinding clouds, barely survive, and also kill the Vipers than just barely survive and have round 2 come too, right? So hopefully the Vikings don't just kill the Vipers.
Bikers.
They kill them before they even get the blinding clouds down. That's the best scenario.
I mean, you're saying bikers, I immediately go to the Hellions, of course, thinking back to like ye olde days of vultures, but oh man, this Roach Hydra composition, I guess more Hydra Roach to be precise here, it's looking nice. Again, getting those dirty locusts out for the plan B behind it, but I think the biggest compliment to this is the creep spread. He might not be, I mean, you're going to be abducting units into you. You'll be trying to bring the fight to your doorstep, so to speak, or your terms, but at least the ability to fight on creep is going to be here as a potential. But as I say this, lots of Hellions swarming from around the side. It's worth noting, guys, Blue Flame Hellions do tear Hydralisks apart.
Yo, there's no speed upgrade for these Hydralisks. Well, he's gonna duck in here. A lot of blind clouds do go down. Gumiho, he was starting to macro up for like a really long game behind this, so he's not quite maxed out, but 2-2 did finish.
Oh, the
Vipers are killed.
I feel a little too late. The Blue Flame's good, but not if everything's dead.
It's gonna work out just fine.
Yeah, the Vikings landing provided the little bit of buffer necessary after the Vipers get picked off. Lots of tanks did die though, and that's gonna be a hard factor to deal with.
So 30 roaches are on the way. Some more Vipers too, but because the Vikings are still alive, the Vipers, they might get the Blinding Cloud down, they might, but it's really going to be the mass amount of roaches that is the scariest part. He might not attack though, I mean, he's maxed with roaches. I figure you gotta attack, he's gotta make room for the Stormhost transition if that is your plan.
Yeah, I feel a little bad. Gumiho has never really effectively been able to get Hellion run-bys in any of these games.
Well, those Hellions eventually killed the 6th.
Well, it was more like the Banshees that finished it off. But yeah, I guess they did some damage to it. But, I mean, like, he's not able to, like, there's some times where we'll see a Terran player come in and get, like, that 14 drone kill, right? Oh my god, Life, I love you so much right now. This is actually a huge deal, because not only is this, like, I mean, he's going for the middle base first, but if you can actually get any mining off of this, it's not just that you get the extra income, but you actually physically remove minerals from your opponent's bank. He'll never get those minerals, but also, you know, a creep block, hatchery block, lots of time wasted, etc., etc.
And you know, Gumiho might not be able to like kill it. I guess stupid is as funny as it's to say, but he's going to be so focused defending this area right here that Life is going to be able to pretty much, you know, he's going to know when Gumiho moves over to attack it. That's when he moves his own army over and takes a fairly good engagement, because Gumiho took a big dip in supply, had to remax with tanks long before he starts to think about that starport transition that we saw last game.
Yeah. He picks out the Viper. Might just get another one for free. There's really not a lot of Hydralisks here. If you wanted to dive for it, he certainly could. But the scary thing is Gumiho actually doesn't know about the hatchery coming in up here.
It's absurd. Eventually he will of course find out, but it's gonna go so long undetected.
Oh, his army's out of position for this. There's a couple tanks though, should be able to hold this.
Yeah, he's not gonna put on the command center anytime soon.
Well, actually, he might have to lift it, and that might let the roaches just walk right on top of the tanks,
okay,
which
so
is really scary thought.
That's certainly a lot more roaches than I thought there was. There are 3 tanks, a couple of medevacs and hellbats, but there's also an attack going off to the left side, a couple of Hydras.
He pushes, he abandons his own defense, so roaches are gonna kill so many workers here at the 4th. Gumiho is going to have to just go for what is an awkward base trade at this point.
Oh, 28 mutas. Wow, this might be a really good choice. There's a lot of Vikings, but only 1 Thor.
That is true. I don't know. I don't think he'll be able to deal with this.
The
Hellbat's actually going to clean up a lot of the spine claws here at this base as well. If it's going to be a full-on trade for trade, I think Gumiho needs to turn around. Oh man, these Mutalists are going to pop on top of the Vikings, but the Vikings are actually killing a lot of Overlords. God, the Vikings just do no damage to Mutalisks. Oh my god.
They do a lot of damage to Overlords.
Yeah, armored units that they be, taking those hits. She's actually getting wrecked on the Overlord count. I didn't expect this to be so bad.
Going down in the middle of the map.
The Mutalists are going to get here, but yeah, the Thor's not quite going to be enough. He'll take out a couple of Mutalists before going down, but needs to produce, Thors and Vikings back at home. You know what, the Vikings actually don't get cleaned up. They kill every Overlord in the bottom right corner of the map, so Life just had to make 12 more, and he's barely in supply blocked.
You can also land them and kill the queen.
Yeah, he's probably them into the Vikings too. That's the worst part. This CC's gonna die. That actually really hurts for Gumiho. He's got a lot of minerals to work with, but it's about the time it took to build that. More turrets, maybe?
I'm so surprised Life didn't choose to kill that army when he had the chance. The tanks got away. Did not expect that.
Gumiho did a lot of damage just now, though. Let's make no mistake. I mean, you can't take the Overlord kills lightly, as funny as it sounds, but he also killed 49 drones while this was going on.
Yeah, yeah. The attack with the mutas wasn't as immediate as I
Still
thought it would
doesn't.
be.
He doesn't know about the top right still. You can see some
Like,
creep and be like, wait a minute.
there we go.
Wait a
There we
minute.
go. Okay, so these drones are gonna get a couple of. And now is like he gave away his roach. Well, he didn't give away his roach army, but the roach army is no longer like so powerful that he can like defend this non-stop. Gumiho could probably risk moving over there to kill it, although he seems to be focused on the left-hand side right now.
Yeah, I mean, his army is looking really good. He's actually pulling SCVs with this. It sounds silly to say, guys, but the mass repair capability of SCVs is huge.
Oh, the Thor drops to defend his bases.
Oh, he's gonna kill so many
That's
mutas if he
sick.
get one more volley off.
That's really sick. And suddenly life transitioning into muted is not looking so hot. It looked really good
It
against a
is.
bunch of Vikings and one Thor, but Gumiho immediately transitioned and has a couple, 6 Thors? 7 Thors. And now they're also kind of mobile with the medevacs picking them up.
Yeah. In the meantime, pushing on this base, it's gonna go down. There's no question about stopping this. If there's any open space for the creep, like if he starts cleaning up the creep, I guarantee you before I see some missile turrets thrown down, but I'm so scared for the life of these overlords. He's already lost so many once. The Thor's gonna get dropped on top of the mutas.
Oh my god. Oh wow, that was
Well, those get absolutely wrecked. The Vikings still stand. The mutas still falling. Swarm hosts are on the way, but it's too late. Are we really gonna see life go down to Gumiho?
I think so.
Wow.
Like that was his entire bank was in those mutas, which seemed like such a good idea, and then it just took too long. Gumiho was counterattacked for a little bit, but he didn't even lose the base. He just picked up. He's trying to come back and survive, but
GG.
oh.
Nothing
Wow.
against Gumiho, but I was not expecting that out of him. Life has just been such a badass.
Terran is like wrecking these brackets. We got
Cure versus Journey at the top half.
Cure versus Journey. TY is going through as well. Maru is still in the game.
Maru versus
brackets.
Emotion, actually. Maru versus TY. I wonder if that's started.